Good evening. How everyone doing today? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irvin J. Spiritual Divine. I'm here to give you a little show news on today. Um, First I'm gonna talk about energy. Now the energy plant, NOCO plant, that the power of the energy is down again could impact customer bill. So the New Orleans power plant that supplies about a third of energy, New Orleans Power is offline again. So we hope they get that together. So Energy said there was one factor that contributed to the spike of the high bill this summer. You know, so uh, so the power is offline at the plant. Uh, the power is offline. So we don't want that to affect our bill. Because we already having gas. I don't know about anybody else, but gas bill. We have that is high, and then we also have the gasoline is high. We don't need the energy bill to be high. Because the gas by itself, is high. But I hope they're working on that to get that back online. You know, so uh, so we already have the gas, the house gas, and the gasoline is high already. So they're saying due to the outage in the summer, the heat leave family frustrated because I don't know if some of y'all had outages, and it caused your bill high, but they say sooner or later be back to the normal rate. But it will go back to the normal rate, because some of y'all bill was high due to the outage, uh, due to whatever they was working on. So now I'm gonna talk to you about Saint Paris public school in St. Paris. So they still at they have teachers shortage, recruiting wave and salary boost. Because the teachers they have now is doing extra work because there's so shortage of teachers. So they need a raise. They need a raise. You know. Now the show nearly is like 100 teachers. 100 teachers, and they have 96 spots to fill. They have 96 spots to fill. Shortage of crisis. Them teachers is working hard. So they deserve a raise and until they fill those spots in. So the state lawmakers have worked it to address the crisis. So they came up with 1,500 to raise and an extra 750 to raise for the support of the staff. So that was good. It's helping the staff out because the staff have been overworking itself because they short the teachers. So that means the teachers there is doing extra work. So that's good because they're doing extra work due to the shortage of the teacher. So that can help, and we all gonna try to help and donate. They are hiring. They are hiring. They have 96 spots open. So if anybody, need anybody who have teachers on license, I mean, you can apply for that job. Locate them, because they have 96 spots open. And these teachers is working extra hard, because they show the teachers. So if anybody have teachers license, St. Paris public school is hiring. So that's on the teachers right there. Um, so I have let's talk about the French quarters. I had a French quarters. It's like it's too much crime. Too much crime. Too much crime is out of control, they say. You got the businesses there, you have the residents there, and you have tourists there. So the local and business owner said the crime is taking over their neighborhood. So these are the people who work and live in the French quarters. They said the crime is out of control. Because that's all you hearing what's going on in the French quarter. And you have a lot of residents live in the French Quarter, and you got businesses there. So we need to have it safe in the French Quarter because that's our biggest thing right there. Because we have tourists come down, and that's the first place they go to French Quarters. So they're saying a crime is taking a toll on their business. Because if the crime is taking over in the French Quarter, so you ain't gonna have too many people going to their business, to the stores and antiques. They have all kind of stores that been there for so many years. So it's taking a toll on their business and stuff. So so it have to be safe for all the tourists, including the residents and the business. You know, so all this crime is really out of control and have to stop. The crime have to stop. So I don't. And this another thing with the cops. Y'all have that machine laser that just sustain people. They go only to people that do crime. You running behind somebody or something like that, then you use that. You don't use that on somebody that's innocent. So I don't I don't know if they have police in the French Quarter posted. You know, but I request that they have police posted in the French Quarters. To keep it safe. Because we want the tourists to continue on coming down. If they have so much crime in the French Quarters, they're gonna be too scared to even come down. So we want them to be safe because we want them to continue on coming down to New Orleans because New Orleans is a beautiful place for tourists to come down to. It's a fun city. They love to come down here in the French Quarter, so we have to dive down in the French Quarters. Have the tourists see that you got police that they safe. They're gonna take a good eye and monitor everything that happens. They just try to make sure everyone is safe. And make sure have so many people around the businesses and around the tourists and around these residents. Because they all complain that the crime is getting out of control. So we want to try to keep it safe for everyone, the business, the residents, and the tourists. So I request that police be posted there, and make sure that happen, make sure everyone is being safe. You might not be able to control all the crime, but at least we'll have you in the French Quarter trying. So we got businesses, we got stores that been out there for years. You got residents and you got tourists. So we want to make sure all three of these things to try to be safe. And like I said, you may not be able to control all the crime, but at least we can try to make the first step. So when tourists come to our city to visit, we want them to be safe. We want them to feel comfortable. We want them to be safe. We don't want them to come down here and walking around holding their purse wrapped around there and then walking holding their purse like this here. We want when they go back to their hometown, we want them to say, "Oh, I love going to New Orleans. It was great. It was fun. So we have to slow down the crime that's going on in the French Quarters. Because we don't want to be a talk of the town, but when tourists leave from New Orleans. So we also want all residents and all the businesses. We need all of them to be safe because a lot of times we have celebrities live down here in the French Quarter. And we don't know until you see it on TV. But you got a lot of celebrities living in the French Quarter. So you don't want them to be packing up and like, oh no, I can't stay in New Orleans. So we want New Orleans to be a great city, a beautiful city, for when they leave to have something good to talk about. We don't want them to go home and be talking about how they had to hold their purse like this here to the front and stuff like that and keep on looking to the back. So we want to try to make it safe for the tourists. We don't want them to come down here and constantly keep on seeing fights and shooting and all this shit going on. So we all want everyone to be safe. You know, stop. We got to try to stop the crime. Too much crime. Too much crime. It needs to stop. So we talked about energy plant. energy plant is offline again. They say it's down again. Got offline. So we just hope they get it back together, and everybody, the ones that had problems with the outage, was because of the summer or something had went on. They're saying that it affect y'all bill, but they say it will be back on track again. It will go back to normal rate. So we just hope they get all that together at the plant. Because the gas, the house gas is already high. We already dealing with high gasoline. At the gas station. Now some of the gas stations have went down on the price, but not all of them. So we already dealing with high prices right now. So we just hope they get together, because if not, it will affect our bill. With the impact of the energy that is down and is offline. They say it could impact the customers. So we don't want that to happen. So we pray that they will fix the whatever needs to be fixed at the plant. So that's the energy we talked about. And we also talked about St. Paris Public School. They got 96 spots open. So that's a lot of spots to be open. So that means these teachers is doing extra work. So they had to donate and give them money for the staff that's there, because they're overworking themselves. They're doing extra work. So probably giving them more students because of this short of staff. So they raised out 1,500, and then another 750 to support the staff. Because they were doing more work and still making their regular pay. So I requested that, give them a little raise until y'all fill up these spots, until the spots is filled up, because they have extra kids, extra students right now, and we all gonna try to also donate. We are also gonna try to donate, but in the meantime, I request that they get a little raise until they fill up these spots. Please, I request to, give them a raise right now, and so y'all fill out these 96 spots, because that's a lot of spots, and I mean that's a lot of children going to these different classes, so they have more students in their class now. So due to the shortage, I request that they should have a raise, get them a raise, just temporary until y'all fill out these 96 spots. You know, And so we also talk about the French quarters. The residents and the business owners, and they complain that it's too much crime, and they say it's out of control. It's out of control. And we also have tourists down there, so we don't need that to be going on. We want the tourists to be happy. We want them to feel comfortable. And we don't want them to go back home and say they had a great time in New Orleans. We don't want them to go back and say that the crime rate is so high in New Orleans. So we have to try to slow down all this crime. That's why we constantly trying to pull these guns off the street and make it hard to purchase any guns. And I also request that police be posted in the French quarters. And anybody won't have so much crime. If they see the police posted here and they see a police 2 and 3 blocks down posted there, they might take a look at trying to shoot a gun. So and that also make the tourists safe. If they see a police posted at every 2 3 blocks, and so that's what we have to do in the French Quarter. We have to have police is posted in the French Quarter, to slow down this crime. You know, so so that's all the show news I have for you today, and I see y'all on the next video, and have a blessed day.